Yay, we're working this time. Fantastic. Welcome to Women on a Mission movement. Welcome to the Possibility podcast where all things are possible, right? So I was reading this quote that I found in the Terry Savelle book, Live Your Dreams devotional, and it's by Mike Ashcraft, and it says, do something about one thing this year instead of nothing about everything. Now, I don't know when it is that you are watching this clip, whether it's on the replay, whether it's next year, whether it's today, right now, or tomorrow, whenever it is. The thing is, as of this recording, we are something like 46 days, maybe, out from the end of the year. Actually, it has to be more than that. No, maybe not. Maybe not, right? Feels like it. What my point is, we are getting close to closing out the year 2025. So when you think about that quote, do something about one thing this year. Many people shut down because you're thinking the year is almost over. Jennifer, I don't need to do anything this year, right? Yet, what I want to invite you to is that it's never too late, right? It's never too late. In fact, for me personally, my year, it feels like it started in late September, October. And if you went by the Jewish calendar, I'd be in 2026 right now. So let's just go there, okay? Let's just do it because you get to decide. So do something about one thing this year. It's never too late. So, what is that one thing that you can do and close out your year strong, knowing that it's never too late, instead of nothing about everything? So, have a look, do some reflection, even right now while I'm talking, and think about the year that you've had, 2025, right? I just told you that I almost felt like for me this year, my year never started until like September, October, right? The start of this year was amazing. I've had amazing things happen all through the year. Yet there were big chunks of my year that where my focus was shifted into my advocacy role for my parents as their carer. And so that has taken up a lot of time and a lot of energy this year. And I'm so grateful that I get to do that. Has it been easy? No, it hasn't. Yet here's the thing, one word that I chose, so one word has the power to change your life. And as I start the year, and listen, rather than rules here, you get to choose this as you go. So I'm going to explain it though from the concept of we choose one word that becomes our guide for the year, right? So whether you choose that one word at the start of the year, at the middle of the year, at the third month, the 10th month, whatever it might be for you, right? That doesn't matter. What I'm wanting to invite you to is to allow yourself to choose one word to be your guide for all of the choices that you make in your life. Allow it to be the barometer for how you do life. Allow it to be your guide. And what's really interesting is one of these words that I was given for myself as I did this activity, and I'm going to explain the activity to you in a moment. I'm going to take the notes from Terry's book and I'm going to share them with you because they're so powerful, right? So, what I did was I sat quietly. I identified the word that was going to be one word because it was resonating on the inside of me. And then it was showing up all around me in books that I read, in podcasts I listened to, in songs that I listened to. It just kept popping up. And for me, that word was surrender. And that word surrender came into me, and I had it probably for a good 18 months or more, actually, probably closer to 20, 22 months, right? Nearly 2 years. I had this word surrender as my guide. And let me tell you, from the year that I've had in 2025, this word surrender has been a powerful reminder to surrender into the moment, to surrender things that were going on, to surrender emotions. Surrender is never giving up. right? But surrender is coming back full circle. Surrender is power, right? It is standing in your power, right? And surrender became my guide. Actually, I've got something written down here about it. Um, Not there. Maybe it's here. Anyway, it's okay. I don't need that apparently, since I can't put my fingers on it. But surrender was my word. And I think the main thing that I want you to get out of it is, like, even in my business, I actually ended up creating a program called Surrender, Release, and Rise, right? This word had impacted my life so much. And yet, I'll tell you what, when the word first came to me, I was like, I don't like that word. Surrender, that's not my word. You know, talking to God about it, that's not my word. I didn't want that word. I felt like it was powerless. I felt like it was weak. I felt like it was giving up. Yet the opposite of all of those things is true, right? And just recently, I was encouraged to start identifying what was my next word, right? So I have my next word. And one of the things I did, just going back to my word surrender, was I read about it. I listened to podcasts on it. I researched the word. I looked at the definition of the word. I listened to a song every single day that it was about surrender. The song that it was called was Another Surrender. And I'm telling you, that impacted my life so much. It was my guide. It supported me in my business. It supported me in my personal life. It supported me in my advocacy role with my parents. It supported me the whole way. So one word can change your life. So here's the story, a story about Shonda Rhimes. And Shonda Rhimes is the creator of the shows like Scandal, Grey's Anatomy, and How to Get Away with Murder. Right? Delrose said that those 6 words in on Thanksgiving Day in 2013 that changed her life forever. And she said these words to Shonda Rhimes, right? So her sister said this to Shonda Rhimes, just to frame that better. She said to her sister, "You never say yes to anything." And that statement shook her up and compelled her to choose one little word for an entire year. So her word was yes. Y-E-S. Yes. Why? Because she realized that she was saying no to everything. She said no to amazing invitations. She said no to be a guest on talk shows. She said no to attending award shows and presenting awards. She declined being around influential people outside of work. She always said no. Why? Because of anxiety, because of fear, because of self-doubt and nervousness. So Shonda Rhimes made a decision to start saying yes. She started saying yes to everything. And that pushed her out of her comfort zone. And it opened up a whole new world to her. She was giving TED Talks about it. She wrote a best-selling book about it. She became a New York Times best-selling author, all because she focused in on one word that drove her decisions, that inspired her actions, and it changed her life forever. And her word was yes, right? So I wonder what it is that you could accomplish in your life if you choose a word. I told you my word has been surrender. Just one word to keep you focused, to help you make decisions, to stay ambitious, to hold yourself accountable. Some of the most popular single words people choose each year are things like trust, patience, love, discipline, focus, faith, surrender. Oh my goodness, I had no idea that that was in here. peace, listen, joy, right? So these are some of the most popular words that people choose each year. So I want to challenge you to do what I did and to sit quietly and write down a variety of words that come to your mind, and then begin to narrow down the choices until you zero in on one word that you feel God is speaking to you. And you will know intuitively. And for me, there are times when rather than needing to write down a heap of words, I just know and have a sensing of the word, because the word just keeps showing up in my awareness. It just keeps popping into me and I see it and hear it in all different ways, right? So you can sit quietly, you can meditate on it, you can write some things down and look at what resonates the most, right, with you. Never be afraid of the words. Like I told you, this whole word surrender, I was rejecting it. I was like, that is not for me, right? Yet it was the very thing that I needed. And here's the other thing is God knows what you're going to need in the next season. So whatever it is that you need for 2026, God knows. And if you sit quietly and listen, you're going to hear. You're going to hear from within yourself, okay? So God will speak to you. And Terry writes, and she says, through the years, a few of her one words have been invest, purge, firm, stretch, grow. And some of my other words personally have been determination, consistency, real, REAL, thankful, being grateful, right? So, do you want a personal growth plan that you can remember? Do you want a personal growth plan that is simple, straightforward, that you can remember? I hear you. I see you. You're saying yes. I know. I know. Yes, in the comments. Okay. So this is how it's done. Choose one word that you will focus on all year long to achieve your goals. Choose one word, right? Wise words bring many benefits, and you only need one word to be your guide for the next 12 months, 18 months. And for me personally, I never put a time limit on it. I allow it to evolve in me and through me, and you kind of like know when it's done, right? You know when it's time to it's not never so much as release the word, yet it's about changing the word, right, for this next season. So my new word is the word authority. Now, that never made sense to me either when it came into me, okay? And yet, already the impact of that word, authority, for me in my life, and I'm not going to go into it right now, but the changes that have already happened to me personally in my business, in my retreat, because that was the focus, my intimacy retreat. So, my personal word, authority. So, applying and stepping into my authority as a woman, my God given authority, my divine authority, the power that is within me, and letting that be the guide in my life as I go about my business, as I go about my personal life, as I go about my advocacy, as I go about my role as a mother, as a glamour, all of the things, right? It all matters, okay? It all comes into play. So this word gets to be your personal growth path. And just like I told you about surrender, that is still there. Like I am in love with that word now. This word that I wanted to reject and wanted nothing to do with it, that became my guide for all of my decision making processes, my personal growth plan, right? I'm in love with that word now. I feel the power of it in me. So it's any wonder that I've moved now into authority, right? I love the fact that it's building upon things. So who knows where we're going to end up, but I'm excited for you, right? This is your opportunity. One word, right? It's all it takes. Choose one word to be your guide. Sit with it. Allow yourself to embody it. Look up the definition of it, right? And allow it to sink into your life and apply it to every area of your life. It has been so fun to be here with you. Thank you for joining me here on the Possibility Podcast, Women on a Mission movement. So exciting. Reach out to me if you have any questions or you want to connect. All right. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.